What is the truth? What is the truth, channel? What is the truth?
All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another show on the What is Truth podcast. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Shout out to DJ Mossy for that most exquisite intro. His link to his channel is in the description. Hit up my man, DJ Mossy. What's up, Demelza? What's up, Secret Squirrel? What's up, Earth Empress? Definitely in the house. What's up, Miss Head? Hell yeah. What's up, G of amongst G's, Miss Marion G? What's up, Kelly? What's up, Miss Hey? All right. Should be a fun show tonight. Just got word that Corey Hughes will be joining me on the Odysee part, which is in about an hour from now. So stay tuned. It will only get better. Roscoe, what's up, my man? Hell yeah. What's up, Nadine? What's up, Ashley W? And yeah, thank you guys for Old School Pete's definitely in the house. Jenna, welcome to see you guys here. All right, so tons and tons of stuff to get through. I originally had a stream planned on Virginia Giuffre, maybe a somewhat controversial thumbnail. Hero or Sellout. And we will discuss that for sure. But breaking news, just a few hours ago, news is out that Jean-Luc Brunel is deceased in a similar fashion to his BFF, Mr. Jeff Epstein. Now, that is breaking news as of today, as of this recording, which is done live here. Shout out to all the people that download the show on podcast form, audio form, Spotify, iTunes, all that good jazz. It's growing, and the Odysee Channel is also growing, so make sure you follow me on Odysee. You can find all or most of my content on Odysee, as well as in podcast form. If you are only listening here on YouTube, you are missing out on a host of content. So, what's up, Amy? Let's see. Let's get right to it, shall we? Shall we? So, let's see here. Let me get the right article. As I stated before, this is breaking news. Jean-Luc Brunel, this is from the Daily Beast, and it is Hanged in a Cell is the name of the article, I believe. And it is written by Tracy Connor, Kate Briquelet. All right. Epstein's alleged model agent pimp Jean-Luc Brunel found hanged in cell. Again. Yes, again. The Frenchman was accused of procuring underage women for the late financier. Underage women, huh? I think underage girls is... I'm not an author or a connoisseur of the written language, but I think underage girls is a better term for that. For the late financier, who died the same way. Convicted ped. All right. Jean-Luc Brunel, the French modeling agent accused of procuring underage girls. Let me fix that for you, Daily Beast. For Jeff Epstein, was found hanged in his Paris jail cell in a shocking replay of how Epstein himself died. Shocking is correct. This is huge in many, many ways. Let's see. The 76-year-old was found during a nighttime check by guards at La Santé. Ah oui oui. Early Saturday, officials told Le Monde. Pass the escargot. His attorneys told the paper that the apparent suicide was not driven by guilt, but by a deep sense of injustice. Give me a effing break. All right. Epstein and Brunel accuser Virginia Roberts Giuffre said it was unfortunate that the Frenchman would not face trial. The suicide of Jean-Luc Brunel, who abused me and countless girls and women, ends another chapter. I am disappointed that I was not able to face him in a final trial and hold him accountable for his actions, but gratified that I was able to face him in person in Paris to keep him in prison, she said. Interesting, Miss Giuffre. I mean, you just finished settling with Prince Andrew for a hefty sum amount of money. So these are interesting words that you are disappointed in not facing him. Brad Edwards, who has represented Roberts Giuffre, said he believes the Frenchman took his life because he knew his fate was sealed. He and Epstein made it only as long as there was hope of getting out, Edwards told the Daily Beast. Virginia's testimony in France was a major factor in Jean-Luc being jailed. Her recent settlement with Prince Andrew solidified her as a highly credible person, so it cannot be a surprise that he took the same cowardly path as his old pal to avoid true accountability. I feel bad for his many victims, but this does not have much impact at all on our investigation, which continues to strengthen. I'm not sure I fully agree with those statements by Mr. Edwards, but to each his own. Brunel, who founded Karen Models and MC2 Model Management, started being investigated by French prosecutors in August of 2019. He was arrested in December 2020 while attempting to board a flight to Dakar in Senegal. This is interesting because he was flying to Senegal soon after the alleged suicide by Mr. Epstein, and no one is exactly sure why he was flying to Senegal, but it's possible because Senegal's extradition laws are in favor to scumbags like Mr. Brunel. So that's one theory as to why he was heading down there in the first place. At the time, prosecutor Remy Heights said in a statement that Brunel is suspected of having committed acts of violations, assaults, harassment, and various minor or major victims, and of having in particular organized the transport and accommodation of young girls or young women on behalf of Epstein. He was undeniably close associate of Epstein, who killed himself by hanging in a Manhattan jail cell in August 2019 while awaiting trial on trafficking charges. Allegedly. It's kind of disappointing how these sources act like this is a matter of fact when we have coroners stating that the wounds of this person do not add up with a self-inflicted wound. So, yeah, that's my pieces added to this Daily Beast article. His name appeared more than 15 times on flight logs for Epstein's private jet, and photos used as evidence in the case against Epstein's confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell, showed him palling around with her and Epstein. He also visited Epstein dozens of times during the financier's first jail stint in Florida for procuring underage girls for prostitution. Logs from Epstein's Palm Beach home included messages from Brunel that appeared to refer to young girls. In one note, Brunel reported that he just did a Good one, 18 years, who told him, I love Jeffrey, in another. Brunel stressed that he has a teacher for you to teach how to speak Russian. She is 2 by 8 years old, not blonde. What the hell does that even mean? Lessons are free and you can have first today if you call. Giuffre claimed in legal filings that she was forced to sleep with Brunel, among others, while she was Epstein's slave. She accused Brunel of using his modeling agency to import girls and young women and farm them out to his friends, including Epstein. One of the most disgusting things we have heard of Brunel was that for one of Epstein's birthday parties, he furnished a couple of underage twin girls. This Jean-Luc Brunel character is a slimy scumbag. And so news of his death, while I think would be appropriate to celebrate, I think given the fact of these highly suspicious circumstances, it's not really a celebratory type of mood, because again, it feels like a lot of the truth is being silenced, and people want to dismiss alternative ways of thinking into thinking that they're fantastical. Well, guess what? This whole entire saga has been fantastical, from reports of intelligence from certain governments, and I'll use Ryan Dawson's little bell for that. Epstein being involved in a $500 million Ponzi scheme and his associate going to prison for it, while he was allowed to roam free with just a slap on the wrist. If you were to make a movie with all this buffoonery going around, people would laugh at you because it's so far-fetched, and yet all of these things are real and documented. So to think in the alternative mindset is completely justified, in my opinion. All right, let's go on. A lot of the girls came from poor countries or poor backgrounds, and he lured them in with a promise of making good money. Giuffre said in a 2015 affidavit, Jeffrey Epstein has told me that he has slept with over 1,000 of Brunel's girls, and everything that I have seen confirms this claim. Allegations of misconduct against Brunel predate the Epstein scandal, however. In 1988, 60 Minutes interviewed American models who worked with him in Paris, who accused Brunel of drugging and abusing them. Brunel professed his innocence through it all. This is key because he was a known scumbag even back then. And unfortunately, in Paris, apparently, the statute of limitations is about 20 years. So because of this, he was out. He was able to, prance around and act like nothing ever happened, and still maintained his relationships with high-profile folks such as Mr. Epstein. He was also friends with former presidents Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. A scumbag, completely certified, and yet he was running around with these high-level characters. I strongly deny having committed any illicit act or any wrongdoing in the course of my work as a scouter or model agency's manager, he said in a 2015 statement. I have exercised with the utmost ethical standard for almost 40 years. Get the F out of here, man. French police have now opened an inquiry into Brunel's death. If they are anything like the Trump administration's William Barr's investigative unit, do not hold your breath. When Epstein was found hanged, it triggered a swirl of conspiracy theories that he was murdered, which persists to this day, even though the medical examiner ruled it a suicide. Daily Beast, why don't you talk about the other medical examiner or coroner that stated that his wounds did not add up with a self-inflicted? Funny how that's left out. Brunel's death under such similar circumstances is sure to jumpstart the rumor mill. Yes, for one, the cameras appear to not have been working. So the Daily Beast in this article failed to address that. Let's go to another article which is written by the Express.co.uk. Title of this article is Jeffrey Epstein's friend Jean-Luc Brunel commits suicide in prison, video camera not on. So this article gives us a little more they're not afraid to talk about the camera part, which the Daily Beast omitted, as well as omitting the fact that another coroner did not agree with that assessment on Mr. Epstein's death. So right here, this is a prime example of why people are losing trust in mainstream media reporting. They omit what they want, include what they will to fulfill the narrative that they're trying to portray. And this is a prime example of that. So on with this article from the Express. The French modeling agent was accused of procuring more than 1,000 women and girls for the paid financier to sleep with. The 74-year-old's apparent suicide happened in a part of a Paris prison where the security cameras were reportedly not working. All right. I'm liking this reporting a little bit better. It echoes the controversial circumstances surrounding his best friend Epstein's death in a New York prison in August 2019. U.S. authorities later said that the technical errors led to the CCTV footage of the convicted offender's prison cell being lost. Being lost. And these people wonder why alternative ways of thinking are on the rise. Brunel died while awaiting trial in France for abusing minors. Prosecutors and prayers confirmed that Brunel was found hanging in a cell in La Santé in the early hours of this morning. Virginia Giuffre, a former slave of Epstein who reached out of court settlement with Prince Andrew this week, had previously accused Brunel of abusing her. A source told Mail Online a night patrol found his lifeless body at about 1 a.m. A judicial inquiry has been launched and early evidence points to suicide. Yeah, early evidence. What is this evidence? I mean, don't just be telling us that this points to a suicide. Tell us why this evidence points to that. Camera's not working, and but you can already jump to this conclusion. That to me is conspiratorial thinking. That to me is a theory. You're not pointing out the evidence, but you're quickly gonna jump on that it was a self-inflicted wound. Get the hell out of here, man. Brunel was accused of playing a key role in a global underage ring organized by the dead multi-billionaire convicted ped Epstein. All right. So there you have it, folks. That is the breaking news. And yeah, this is why I just gave you a couple of examples from mainstream sources One of them having the balls, the huevos, to talk about the cameras, while the other completely avoiding it. And I read several articles, and several of these articles did the same as the Daily Beast. They did point out that, sure, conspiracy theories are going to arise just like the Jeff Epstein version of events. But no mention of the cameras. This is very, very suspect. And the Express article isn't the only one that talked about the cameras, but there's only a handful. And as a matter of fact, the Daily Mail sent out a tweet about the cameras not working and then retracted the tweet. So fishy stuff is already happening, already swirling. And these outlets are wondering why people are having these thoughts. Because it's so damn obvious that stuff is going on. And curious that this all happens during a time where Maxwell is facing a possible retrial. A possible retrial because, as I've already covered in other shows, some of the jurors lying, and one of these jurors, Mr. Cheez-It Boy, being connected to the Carlyle Group, a company also connected to Epstein. I mean, come on. What more do people that want to blow this as simply all coincidence? How much more do you need? It's all there. This is exactly why we have these alternative ways of thinking. Because the evidence points to it. It's not conjecture. It's evidence. Also, this week, and I would have added some of this Jean-Luc Brunel onto the thumbnail, but it was real quick and I just didn't have time for it. But let's get over to the settlement between Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre. Happy birthday to the little slimy scumbag there that you see on your screen. Prince Andrew is 62 years old today, and what an awesome birthday present, huh? He's so charitable. In part of the settlement, he's supposed to be donating some money to charities for support of abuse victims. What a charitable man. Apparently, let's see here. Let me put up this article by the Sun here. So, all right. This article is by the Sun. Author is Claudia Raja. I'm not sure. Title is Laughingstock. Prince Andrew ridiculed by palace aides who mock him with a nursery rhyme after his £12 million Virginia Giuffre settlement. Buckingham Palace aides have ridiculed Prince Andrew with a twist on an old nursery rhyme following his £12 million abuse settlement, sources claim. The ditty, allegedly chanted in the royal household, also mocks Andrew's denials that he ever met his accuser, Virginia Giuffre. Aides are said to have jokingly shared lyrics riffing on the famous nursery rhyme about a previous Duke of York, reports the Sunday Times. They say, the grand old Duke of York, he had 12 million quid. He gave it to someone he'd never met, for someone he never did. The jibe references the infamous Newsnight interview with the BBC's Emily Maitlis? Fudge. I'm sorry if I butchered that. In November 2019, where Andrew said he had no recollection of ever meeting Mr. Frey. And also, remember, this is where he infamously stated that he could not sweat. He also said he has no memory of the well-known photograph of him with his arm around Mr. Frey's waist at Ghislaine Maxwell's house. Andrew also previously questioned whether it was his own hand in the image. Shout out to my man Brian Harvey. He's been streaming about this as well, so make sure you check him out. Much love, my buddy, my homie. Virginia sued Andrew in New York, claiming the ped tycoon made her have relations with the prince 3 times when she was 17. Despite his lawyer saying he wanted to clear his name at a jury trial, Andrew settled the abuse case out of court for an alleged £12 million this week. So it's undisclosed, so I'd be curious to know how these numbers, I've seen £8 million being thrown out, 12 million. I've seen figures closer to 20 million. So it's undisclosed what the exact amount is. Who knows? And can you really trust these numbers? I mean, we found out this week too that Joe Rogan Spotify deal, everyone thought it was 100 million, but apparently that Spotify deal was more like 200 million. So everyone claiming these numbers, where are you getting these numbers, and where is the proof? So these 8 million pounds, 12 million pounds, 20 million pounds, who really knows the figure? If I was gonna be selling out and I'm dealing with the royals who have boatloads of cash, I mean, why not ask for 100 mil? Freddie said, why not ask for $1 billion? Who knows? Maybe those numbers are really closer to that. All these sources are just guesses because nothing has been shown as evidence for it. The Sunday Times also claimed that the sources close to Andrew say that there is genuine regret he was ever involved with Epstein. They added, he is remorseful, particularly about the impact it has had on his mother and his family. He's remorseful he got caught. Let's make no mistake about it. Had he never been caught, he would have still been partying it up at Woking. You know what I'm saying? Not sweating. This is a guy, after all, who flew out, who admitted to flying out to visit Epstein to break off his relationship with Epstein. He couldn't have done it over an email, over a phone call. Nope. He had to fly over there, spend several nights at Epstein's pad to call off his relationship with his buddy. So remorseful, my candy ass. Hell no, man. These jokesters. The same sources say the £12 million settlement figure is out by millions. It was also reported that Andrew will make a public appearance at a Thanksgiving service for Prince Philip at Westminster Abbey on March 29th. After this, the Queen will decide whether he can attend future family events based on how much of a distraction he proves to be. That includes her Jubilee service at St. Paul's Cathedral on June 3rd, which Andrew won't have any formal role at. Car crash. This comes after reports that Andrew will use a family loan to fund his $12 million financial settlement, after Charles persuaded his disgraced brother to pay off his abuse accuser. The Prince of Wales ordered the disgraced Duke of York to shut it down and pay up fearing his upcoming video witness statement with Virginia Roberts Giuffre's lawyers would be a car crash. Royal sources say that the heir to the throne met with the Queen last Tuesday at Windsor Castle and then wrote to his younger sibling urging him to see sense. They feared Andy would be skewered by Virginia's lawyer, David Boy, as he was Emily Maitlis in his awful Newsnight interview in November 2019, which caused him to step down from public duty. The cash-strapped Duke of York, 61, well, actually he's 62 today, the son, is still waiting for the proceeds of selling his 17 million Swiss chalet, with the sale expected to be completed within weeks, according to sources close to the prince. It means Charles, 73, and the Queen, 95, will instead dip into their personal funds to make sure Andrew can make the settlement and charitable donation before the deadline on March 17. Andrew will be asked to pay back his bridging loan when he sorts out his tangled finances. The remarkable turnaround comes just 3 weeks after Andrew demanded a abuse jury trial in New York, claiming the case was a marathon, not a sprint. All right. Well, there you go. Interesting times. Now, when it comes to Virginia Giuffre, is she a hero or a sellout? Some people say, and feelings are mixed. Some people view her as a hero because she has been one of the Epstein victims in the forefront, one of the loudest ones, one of the most outspoken ones. And many credit her for her perseverance into bringing all this to light. Now, the people that may be calling her a sellout, and I fall into that latter, maybe feeling that way because she had stated that she was going to grill this guy, was going to go through with the trial so that all of this dirty business could come out, and that she was not going to settle. She had previously stated that. And there are other reasons. Virginia Giuffre had also helped recruit other girls for Epstein. Am I calling her evil and wicked? I'm not doing that. But I do have questions. And I feel my questions are justified. I mean, when you see so many of the Epstein victims that are still living in poverty, whose voices have yet to be heard, because there are thousands of these people, and only a few of them we've ever seen them. And you see Virginia Giuffre, she's living lavish. She's hanging out at the Ritz-Carlton, eating the finest of escargots and stuff like that. And she is a victim. That's awesome. I'm not hating on that. But where's the money for the other thousands of victims whom are yet to be heard of, who are struggling with drug abuse? We never hear about them. And to me, that's a damn shame. That is the biggest tragedy in all this effery going on. And my heart goes out to them more than the people who've already reaped some of these financial rewards You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on that. I don't want people to misconstrue that. But we can't forget about these people. You know? It's no different when we hear about these wars and when an American soldier dies. Of course, that's a tragedy. And it gets reported on the news and whatnot. But yet, when these drone strikes hit in Yemen and innocent people die and get murdered, and then the government comes in and gives them some goats, are those lives not just as important? This is the stuff that ticks me off and fires me up. These lesser known figures get forgotten, like their lives are far less important than these other individuals. So I'll get into that in the Odysee version. Thank you guys for joining me. I do have Corey Hughes, so if you are listening to this on the replay or in podcast form, the show is not over. We will continue it. If you are watching it live, we will see you guys in Odysee in about 20 minutes. Corey Hughes will be joining me, so stay put, and we will dissect this completely unfiltered. I have to hold back here. Don't want to violate any community guidelines. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and we will see you guys in